Okay, ready for this? Talking Toads.
Haha. Yeah, you got it.
Today we're diving deep into Counseling for Toads.
By Robert DeBoard.
You bet.
Yeah.
And you sent us excerpts from a summary,
Smart.
so we get all the insight.
Yeah, the good stuff.
Yeah, without reading the whole thing,
Exactly.
which is great.
Yeah.
Basically, this book, it's like Aesop's Fables.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, but it's about therapy.
Yeah.
So it's like really accessible.
Yay for everyone.
You know, for understanding all these complicated psychological concepts.
Yeah.
We're going to be looking at, how our childhood experiences shape who we are as adults,
Right.
the different ego states,
Yes.
which is always fascinating.
Yeah.
And also psychological games,
Oh, yeah.
that we might be playing without even realizing
Yeah,
it.
we don't even know we're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's meet our main character,
Yeah.
Toad. Used to be this energetic guy.
Flamboyant.
Very flamboyant.
Go.
But now he's really depressed.
Yeah, withdrawn.
Yeah, and withdrawn. Big change.
Yeah, so what happened?
Well, it's complicated, isn't it, life? But he has these friends, Rat Mole and Badger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they all try to help him.
Okay.
They all have different approaches to helping him,
Okay, so they're like each representing a different type.
like a different type of friend.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and their attempts to help really highlight how hard it is
Yeah,
to support someone who's struggling.
yeah. Have you ever been in that position where you're just like,
Oh, all the time.
yeah,
Like, how do I help?
yeah, and it's like, you want to, but you don't want to.
You don't know what to do.
Yeah, you don't know what to say or what to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Badger, he means well,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
he's a great example of what not to do.
Okay.
He lectures Toad.
Oh,
He's overbearing,
that's not good.
and it just makes things worse.
Yeah, so it's like sometimes even if we have good intentions,
Yeah.
our attempts to help.
It can make things worse. It can backfire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how does this idea of therapy even come up?
Well, his friends, they realize that their advice isn't helping,
Yeah.
and they suggest therapy.
Okay.
And at first, Toad is really resistant.
He's like, no way.
Yeah, he's skeptical.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of stigma around therapy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, you should just tough it out.
Yeah. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But eventually, Toad agrees to see Heron.
Who's Heron?
Heron is this wise
Okay.
and patient therapist.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's like the wise old owl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But even then, it's not easy.
Yeah.
Heron's approach is quiet, observant,
Okay.
and it creates this uncomfortable atmosphere at first.
Okay.
Because therapy, it requires you to participate.
You can't just sit there.
Yeah, you can't just sit there. You
Yeah.
have to be active.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is where the idea of the child ego state comes in.
Okay.
So DeBoard is suggesting that we all carry our childhood emotions and experiences with us into adulthood.
So even though we're grown up,
Yes,
we're still like little kids inside.
in some ways.
Okay.
Yeah, think of it like this.
Okay.
Your childhood experiences,
Yeah.
they're the foundation of a house.
Okay.
You can build a beautiful house on top,
Yeah.
but the foundation's still there.
Yeah, you can't get rid of it.
And sometimes those cracks
Yeah.
in the foundation.
They show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what are Toad's cracks?
Yeah, what are his cracks?
Well, through his conversations with Heron, we learned that his upbringing really affected him.
Huh.
He was always compared to his siblings who were more successful.
Oh, no.
And his father always made him feel inadequate.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so sad.
And it's interesting to think about
Yeah.
the messages we got in childhood
Yeah.
about our worth.
Yeah.
What were yours?
Oh, I don't know. I've never really thought about it that way.
Right. It's fascinating. And then there's this scene
Okay.
where Heron introduces Toad to the feelings thermometer.
The what?
The feelings thermometer.
Okay.
It helps Toad to name his feelings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Toad places himself between worthlessness
Oh.
and despair
Wow.
on this thermometer.
Yeah, that's heavy.
It is,
Yeah.
but it shows how much he's struggling. And that's the first step, naming those feelings, so you can deal with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so Toad's got some stuff to work through.
He does.
Yeah, but we'll hear more about that after the break.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we've got Toad. His childhood wasn't great,
Right?
and now it's like all coming back to haunt him.
Yeah, like those cracks in the foundation we talked about.
Exactly.
They're starting to show.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is how it's all coming out in his behavior.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, DeBoard talks about the adapted child and the rebellious child.
Okay, hold on. What are those?
We'll think of the adapted child as like the people pleaser.
Oh, okay.
Always trying to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Suppressing their own feelings to keep the peace.
Yeah.
And Toad does that a lot.
Oh, so he's like always apologizing and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. He's always agreeing with everyone.
Yeah.
Avoiding conflict.
Okay, but that can't be healthy, can it?
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
And you end up feeling resentful.
Right, like you're not even being yourself.
Exactly.
Okay, so what about the rebellious child then?
Well, that's like the flip side.
Okay.
That's where the anger comes out.
Oh, okay.
Often in unhealthy ways.
So it's like going from one extreme to the other.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a pendulum swing.
Right.
And Toad, he's stuck in this back and forth between being too nice and then exploding.
Wow.
There's this scene where he actually gets angry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with these guys called the Wildwooders.
Okay.
And it's like a rare moment for him.
Oh, so he's not usually an anger guy.
Yeah, he usually just bottles it up. So this outburst, it's like a big deal.
Wow.
It shows how much he's holding back.
Yeah.
And this is where things get really interesting.
Oh, okay, lay it on me.
Because Debord introduces the concept of psychological games.
Psychological games.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, these are like patterns of behavior that we repeat over and over,
Okay.
often with bad results.
So it's like we're sabotaging ourselves without even realizing it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And he focuses on this one game called the Poor Little Old Me game.
Poor little old me.
Yeah, PLOM for short.
PLM.
Yeah, have you ever played that game?
I don't know. Maybe tell me more about it.
Well, it's all about getting attention by being the victim.
Oh, okay.
Like, woe is me.
Yeah.
And it can work in the short term.
Yeah.
You get people to feel sorry for you.
Right.
But in the long run,
Yeah.
it keeps you stuck.
Right, because you're not taking responsibility for your own life.
Exactly.
Okay, so is Toad, like, consciously playing this game?
Well, that's the thing about these games. Yeah.
We often play them without realizing it.
Oh, okay.
And in Toad's case, his friend Badger actually encourages him to play it.
Oh, really? How so?
Remember how Badger pressured Toad to quit his job?
Oh, yeah. He was like, you're not cut out for this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that just reinforced Toad's feelings of inadequacy.
Right. So it's like Badger's trying to help.
Yeah.
But he's actually making things worse.
Yeah. Without realizing it.
Wow. So even well-meaning people can play these games.
Yeah, we all do it.
Wow. Okay, so what's the solution then?
Well, that's where the adult ego state comes in.
Okay, adult ego state. What's that?
Think of it like the grown-up part of you.
Okay.
The rational part.
Okay.
The part that can make decisions based on facts.
No, not just emotions.
Yeah, not just emotions.
Okay.
And Toad, he starts to access this adult ego state.
Okay, so he's like maturing.
Yeah, he's becoming more self-aware.
Okay.
And there's this one scene
Okay.
where he gets angry with Heron.
With the therapist.
Yeah.
That seems counterproductive. But it's actually a breakthrough.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it shows he's standing up for himself.
Okay.
He's not just passively accepting everything anymore.
So it's like healthy anger?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, wow.
It's like he's finally finding his voice.
That's awesome.
And as he gets more in touch with his adult ego state,
Yeah.
he starts to realize that he might be repeating patterns from his past.
Oh, interesting.
And this leads to Debord talking about life scripts.
Life scripts, what are those?
Think of it like a subconscious plan that you're following for your life.
Okay.
And these scripts,
Okay.
they're often formed in childhood.
Okay, so it's like based on your early experiences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, for example,
Yeah.
if you grew up in a chaotic household,
Yeah.
you might subconsciously expect your adult life to be chaotic too.
Oh, wow, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Or if you were always praised for being good,
Mm-hmm.
you might carry that need for approval into adulthood.
Even if it's not healthy.
Exactly.
Wow, so it's like we're on autopilot,
Yeah, kind of.
just following the script that
Yeah.
we didn't even write.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do we change the script then?
Well, awareness is the first step.
Okay.
Once you realize you have a script, you can start to question it.
Okay.
And the board uses this framework called life positions.
Life positions.
Okay. To help us understand our attitudes towards ourselves and others.
Okay, I'm ready. Tell me more.
So there are 4 basic life positions.
Okay.
Based on 2 statements.
Okay.
I'm okay or I'm not okay.
Okay.
And you're okay or you're not okay.
Okay, got it.
So the healthiest position is I'm okay, you're okay.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about self-acceptance
Yeah.
and believing in the goodness of others.
Okay.
Then you have I'm okay, you're not okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not so great.
Yeah.
It's a position of superiority
Okay.
and distrust,
Yeah.
often leading to controlling behavior Then there's I'm not okay, you're okay.
Okay.
That's low self-esteem,
Yeah.
putting others on a pedestal.
Yeah, I think I've been there.
Yeah, we all have.
Yeah.
And finally, there's I'm not okay, you're not okay.
Okay.
That's the most negative one.
Yeah.
It's like hopelessness,
Yeah.
despair.
Okay, so where does Toad fit into all of this?
Well, through therapy, he realizes
Yeah.
that he might be operating from an I'm not okay, you're okay position.
Oh, okay, so he doesn't feel good about himself.
Right.
But he sees everyone else as being okay.
Yeah, he always felt inadequate
Okay.
compared to his father and friends.
So he's always trying to please them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's this scene where Toad talks about a dream.
Oh, a dream. Okay.
Yeah, he's flying a plane.
Okay.
And Badger's supposed to be his co-pilot.
Okay.
But Badger abandons him.
Oh, no.
Yeah, leaving Toad alone.
That's terrifying.
At the controls.
Oh, my gosh. What do you think that means?
I think it represents Toad's fear of independence.
Oh,
He's terrified of being alone.
Feeling.
Right. But he also wants to break free from Badger's control.
so it's like a metaphor for his life.
Exactly.
Wow.
Dreams can be so insightful.
Yeah, they can be.
Have you ever had a dream that really stuck with you?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Right. Yeah. They can tell us a lot about ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, Toad, he starts to make progress.
Oh,
He becomes more self-aware.
Okay.
He learns to manage his emotions better.
That's great.
And he finds a new sense of purpose.
So he's rewriting his script.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's ready for a new chapter.
All right, so Toad is ready for a change.
Yeah, he's turning things around.
What's really cool is it's not just internal stuff.
Right, it's not just happening in his head.
Yeah.
He actually starts making changes in his life.
Oh, wow. So it's like real concrete actions?
Yeah, he's walking the walk.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the most symbolic things he does
Okay.
is he sells Toad Hall.
Code Hall. Like his house.
Yeah, his ancestral home.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It is.
It's like he's letting go of the past.
Breaking free from those old patterns.
Exactly.
Yeah, what would be like the equivalent for us?
That's a good question.
Like what could we let go of
Yeah.
that's holding us back?
Yeah, maybe it's the job you hate
Oh, yeah.
or a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
It's different for everyone.
Yeah, that's deep.
It is.
Okay, so Toad sells his house.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do next?
Well, he tries a bunch of new things.
Okay.
He starts with a job in estate management.
The state management. Okay.
Yeah, which is interesting because it's so different from his old life.
Right, he used to be like a rich playboy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now he's working with his hands.
Yeah, so it's like he's found a new sense of purpose.
Yeah, he's not just looking for pleasure anymore.
Right.
He wants to contribute something.
That's really cool.
And then there's this scene where he goes back to the cricket club.
Oh, yeah. I remember that he was the president.
Yeah, and he resigned because he felt overwhelmed.
Right, he wasn't at a good place then. No.
He goes back.
Yeah, he gets reelected as president.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It shows how much he's grown.
Yeah, he's not afraid to take on responsibility anymore.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
And then there's this really sweet moment
Okay.
at the end of the book.
Yeah.
Toad gives Heron a gift.
Oh, really? What is it?
It's a wooden bowl
Okay.
that he made himself.
Oh, that's so thoughtful.
It is. It
Yeah.
shows how much he appreciates Heron's help.
Yeah, and it's like a symbol of his own growth.
Exactly. He's not just taking anymore.
Right.
He's giving back.
That's a beautiful ending.
It is.
Yeah.
So what do we learn from all of this?
Yeah, what are the takeaways?
Well, I think the biggest one is that change is possible.
Even for toads,
Haha. Yeah. Even for toads.
but really for all of us.
Exactly.
Yeah,
No matter how stuck we might feel,
right.
there's always hope.
And sometimes we just need a little help.
Yeah, a good therapist, a good friend,
Yeah,
someone to guide us.
Yeah.
So are you saying we should all go to therapy?
Uh-huh. Not
Yeah.
necessarily,
Okay.
but it's definitely an option.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in seeking help.
Right.
The important thing is to be aware.
Yeah, of our patterns and our scripts.
Exactly.
And then we can start to make changes.
Yeah, take control of our lives.
And rewrite our own stories.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for this deep dive.
My pleasure.
It's been really enlightening.
I'm glad.
And to our listeners out there, keep learning, keep growing.
Yeah, and keep diving deep.
And remember, if a toad can do it,
You can do it too.
thanks for listening.